Many of you think that it's always good to have as many as attackers in your starting 11. But what if I tell you that this is the only reason of your defeat? It is the only reason your opponent is continuously breaking your defense. You always looking for the problems, but the problem is in your formation that you are using. Your midfield is totally empty and it put all the pressure on your defensive line. That's why your defensive line is easily getting break. And that's the only reason you are conceding so many goals. In this video, I will tell you some deep logic behind your formation so you can never do these mistakes again. So grab your notebook to write down everything and don't miss any details, otherwise you will regret it. So let's start this tutorial. I have seen many of you use single DMF in your squad. There is no problem if you are using a single DMF in squad, but problems appear when you use wrong playing style DMF and don't provide support to your DMF. So in this match, my opponent was using 4-1-1 for formation. The first thing he was doing wrong that he was using possession style tactics, but having least midfielders in his squad. In possession style tactics, you need players in your midfield to create chances, but this formation almost had no midfielders to do that. This formation is good for LBC and counterattack, but not for possession style. Midfield is always a backbone for any formation. Your attacking and defending totally depends on your midfield. Let me show you how this single DMF will be a setback for the opponent.
Estética del Camp Nou haya cambiado, pero hay cosas que permanecen igual. El balón.
There is no doubt that his attack will be very strong.
Ya se ha puesto a rodar. Fútbol Club Barcelona contra Zambia. En los ojos del amenazante Genaro Gattuso no hay más que concentración. Consigue alejar el peligro. Ha optado por retrasar el juego.
Look, his midfield is totally empty. Nobody is there to stop if I make a counter-attack.
Centro, remate de cabeza. Eso no ha salido como esperaba. Golpea el esférico hacia la frontal. ¡Anda!
So his attackers had put pressure on me and scored easily.
Ahí la controla. Ahí se va. Martín.
Watch this situation very carefully. These things happen when you don't provide support to your DMF. Because of only one DMF, during counter-attack all the pressure came on centre-backs. These 5 players are totally useless in this situation because they will not come down to defend if you haven't given them deep line individual instructions. If you want your attackers to come down and defend, then give them deep line individual instructions like I do always. Now, many of you will say that it's not logical to give a deep line instruction to your attackers. So let me show you something to break this myth. When you give deep line instructions to your attacker, then, to help defending, they will come down into midfield to support defense. Now, you will say that they don't have defensive abilities. So what is the point of giving them deep line instructions? This is my answer to your question. When your attacker is involved in defending in the midfield, it helps your centre-backs to be in the right position. If your attacker fails to stop the opponent, then your centre-back will always be in the right position to handle that. For example, here my attacker failed to stop the opponent, but my centre-back was in the right position. Have you understood what I am saying? Try to defend with your attacker in your midfield, so your centre-back doesn't have any pressure to come in midfield, and they can remain in the right position. If you will put your attackers on deep line, it will make pressure on the opponent and he will surely make mistakes. Watch, here my attackers are putting pressure on the opponent, and he can't pass to other teammates because they all are also marked by my defenders. Now, you guys will say, it will create a problem when you will counter-attack. But it will make your counter-attack more lethal because you will have so many options to pass and rotate the ball. Watch this example.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Gotta catch another fight. The apple bottom make 'em wanna bite. I just wanna.
I hope you understand it. Now, let's go back to the original video. Now, because of this gap in midfield, all the pressure is on the centre-backs. Now, centre-backs will come into midfield to stop my player, and this mistake will create space for my attackers. Because of weak midfield, all the pressure is on centre-backs. Empty midfield makes pressure on your centre-backs, and when your centre-backs feel pressure, then they start doing overpress. And when you do overpressing, then you leave space behind, and the opponent can easily exploit that space to attack. Like said.
Uno de los jugadores de la semana. Mbappé, mano a mano con el portero. Y gol.
Because his midfield is totally empty, It's benefiting my players to move the ball easily and quickly.
Bernardo Silva. ¡Ahí la domina! Tenemos la primera sustitución de jugadores y no creo que sorprenda a nadie.
See, it puts all the pressure on the opponent's centre-backs, and to avoid the danger centre-backs coming into midfield, this mistake is letting my centre-forward totally free to attack.
Mbappé. Trata de colarla. Solo le queda batir al portero. Pasar los minutos porque esto parece pisto para...
That's why strong midfield is very important in any formation. If you still want to use more attackers and less midfielders, then give your attackers deep line individual instructions.
Que ya ha dado un pase de gol hoy.
See, his defense is totally shattered in one pass. So this is it. With this win, we are now only 120 points away from Division 1. And remember that we are doing this by only using Player of the Week and without any double booster card. I am hoping that my tutorials are making your gameplay better. I don't spread any fake information or make baseless tutorials. I always share those things that I also use in my own gameplay. I am planning to bring many more things on this channel, like giveaways, only standard player series, weekly live streams, many more. So please be with the channel and keep your support alive. Bye bye now and see you in the next video with a new tutorial.